Highland Park is a wonderful place to call home, but sometimes you just have to sell your house. And if you are, then I know a couple of quirks you should be aware of. Come on in and have a seat. I'm Ben Weaver, Illinois attorney and founder of 23 Legal. I provide personal, practical, and professional legal service by guiding clients through the process of buying and selling a home throughout Chicago and its suburbs. And today, we will talk about some things to note when you're selling a home in Highland Park. The area currently known as Highland Park has been inhabited long before what we consider modern recorded American history. Travelers in the early 1800s described the area's bark-covered structures, and tribal chiefs indulged guests in a feast. Highland Park was purchased in 1867 by a couple of investors, and the city has steadily grown ever since. Highland Park sits about a half hour from downtown Chicago during regular traffic and hosts a population just north of 30,000 as of that 2020 census. All right, let's get on to the selling. In Highland Park, the seller is responsible for that per 1,000 tax, and this one is pretty hefty in comparison to other Chicago area municipalities. Highland Park rocks a 5 per 1,000 tax, so if for every $1,000 the house sells for, the seller will be on the hook for $5 in taxes. We have a graphic up right here that breaks it all down, but just for one example, if your house sells for $300,000, you would owe the city $1,500 in taxes. You can do the math from there, or hit us up at 23 Legal to help you figure it out. There are a few parts of this process that you don't see in the majority of transactions around the suburban Chicago area. One thing you must do is make sure both parties sign and notarize the city disclosure statement. That's where the seller, for the sake of simplicity, lists issues with the house that are important for the buyers to consider before they sign a contract. This could be a list of building or city fees owed or violations, and to help be certain that everything has been listed in good faith, a notary must be present for the signing of that disclosure form. The seller must then fill out the Highland Park transfer form, and that form must be signed by the buyer as well. Finally, the seller must fill out the utility info form to forward to the city, and that's how we're able to calculate the final water bill and make sure that it's all paid and completed before closing. The transaction cannot be completed until that bill has been taken care of. Now, it's time to get the transfer stamp, and to do that, you need to be sure you obtain and provide a copy of the deed. Once the deed has been provided, the stamp can be obtained, and it's off to the races with the closing. You know, Highland Park does have some unique steps to navigate to get that house ready to be sold. It can be a lot to manage, but that's why retaining a lawyer and the services of their firm can go a long way in easing some of those stress and simplifying that process of buying and selling a house. We do this all the time and are more than happy to help you through the process. Have you recently sold a house and were so surprised at how much went into that paperwork? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear about it. Like this video if you found it helpful, and be sure to subscribe to 23 Legal for more real estate law content. I'm Ben Weaver, overtaking new contracts and clients, and I'll see you in that next video.